There we go. Like I really need a mic. It's 7 o'clock. We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone to the planning board meeting of April 16th. Few administrative issues. We have an exit over here and an exit over there. We do have a generator in case we do have a power issue. And other than that, please silence all your phones, watches, all the goodies so that you don't interrupt this proceeding. Couple other items is we will be following the rules of procedure adopted by this board earlier this year. And when I turn on the microphone for the room, when we have any public comments, which we only have one public hearing, I believe, tonight, I will turn it on. Here is the key. When that mic goes on, everything that is said in the room will get recorded forever. So be a little careful of your side discussions unless you want them to be on YouTube for the rest of your life. Okay, with that, and I don't have it on right now, but we have the approval of the meeting minutes of April 2nd. Did everybody get a chance to review those? Don did a great job as always. Do I have a motion to waive the reading or to approve those minutes as provided? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. Okay, the legal notices were published. I'll leave it at that. First item up on the agenda is a new public hearing. PB 2025-0301, David and Julie Lowry. Who's here to speak for that one?
I am joining remotely as I am still not feeling well. I joined 2 weeks ago, but figured I would at least join remotely and answer any questions that there might be.
Fantastic. Give us a quick little overview. This is for the subdivision, so it is.
I have the first question. Who's speaking?
Oh, I'm
My
sorry.
name is Kevin Tung from Greenland Surveying. We're doing the subdivision and the site plan.
Thank you, Kevin.
No problem.
So this is just a 2-lot subdivision. So this is just the drawing of the lines on the map.
Correct.
So I assume that, I mean, we did see more information that you sent us, but we will just do the subdivision tonight. And once that's done, you can submit for the preliminary site plan.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll turn it over to staff. Ron.
Okay, we've done determination of completeness. Type 2 under seeker, no county referral required. It is a application for 2 lots. Lot number 1 has been granted an area variance for the accessory building in front of the principal.
Right.
And lot number 2 is now accepted because they've provided the equal and perk tests for the septic system, and shows that they can have a 150-foot wide lot in the A80 district.
Correct.
We're good to go on that.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Dan.
Yeah, Ron Coverdale. I'm good.
Perfect. Paul.
All set.
Tim. Engineering.
All set.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Do I have anyone here to speak for or against this application? Yes, ma'am. Tell us who you are and where you live.
Stacy. My husband Arnold lives at 259 Ellsworth Road.
Okay.
And I was wondering if anybody has a plan or a site plan for this proposed project that you'd be willing to share with us.
We do have some preliminary stuff, but I think it has been through the review to see if it's complete yet for the preliminary site plan. This is just for the division of land tonight.
I'm here with some concerned neighbors.
Okay.
And we have never met Lowry. No one has come to us to say they were thinking about doing this. In fact, many of us only found out about this hearing on Saturday when we received the mailed announcement.
Okay,
Many of the people here never even got an announcement. And of course, you know, it'd be lovely to read the Daily Messenger, but I don't know if any of us subscribe to that. So, and unfortunately, some of our other neighbors who are, you know, neighbors who live, what was your mom's address? 390 Ellsworth Road, they are, mother-in-law, yes, they have left the town this week, and there are other concerned neighbors who
Okay.
have been here because it's Easter week.
okay,
And so a lot of us didn't even know that this was, this is the first we've heard of it.
okay.
So.
Now, just know that this is a subdivision of land. This is the drawing of line on a paper.
Right.
The actual preliminary site plan has not been accepted, and the town or the planning board hasn't accepted it for public hearing. There will be a public hearing on the preliminary site plan for both lots, I assume, at some point. And that's when the rest of the information will be out. But right now, it's just a subdivision of land.
Just a quick correction. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but it would just be the preliminary site plan for lot 2 as there is
Okay.
existing house on lot 1. So
Okay,
All right, I know there is a word for what I am usually,
talking to me.
which is a NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Okay,
In this case, I'm a NIMBY because this is in my front yard.
okay,
It is a lot that is directly across the street from our property.
okay,
And I really feel it would, I mean, the plan is to, obviously, I know you haven't gotten to that point yet, is to put a house there. And
Right.
it's totally not in keeping with the rest of the character on the street. And I mean, I don't want to tell people what to do with their land, but they could put the lot on the other side where it'd be more across the street from Wood.
we'll certainly get into that, but I mean, the lot decision, so you're saying that they shouldn't divide the lot the way it is? Even though there's an existing house on one lot?
We were not. And I'm just.
By not dividing a lot because they own the lot? I'm curious as to why. Yeah,
Is the reason we're having a hearing because normally a subdivision has to be at least 1.8 acres?
I don't think that's true in Farmington.
1.8.
Okay, just a second now. We're getting confused here. When you're done, let me know, and when we've got others that want to say something on this.
I've never met these people. They've not made any effort to try to talk to the neighbors about their project or subdividing the property. And I'm opposed to it, and my husband is.
Okay, so noted. Anyone else have something to say? You need to tell me your name and address. Okay. Okay,
1.8 acres to 880.
okay. Ron, Dan, what am I looking at here?
You're looking at a project that originally came in. And it was not accepted because it didn't have any percolation or default tests.
Right,
And therefore you couldn't consider it complete for a lot, which the code says if you have a conventional system, on-site system, you can have 150 feet of frontage.
right,
This lot that's being proposed has more than 150 feet of frontage.
Right.
So the 80,000 is for those lots that have to have a a raised fill system. It's not a conventional system. And this is not what we are looking at this time.
so conventional system has a different requirement
Yes,
than the 8,000 that she's.
You get a reduction.
You get a reduction if it perks and can have a normal sewer system. Septic system.
septic.
So they went after that reduction. That's why they had to
Right.
seek more information with the deep hole test. Proving to us that a normal system or conventional system could be installed.
So this subdivision of property is in conjunction with our code. It meets all of our code requirements.
Correct.
Okay? Anyone else like to speak for or against this application? Yes, sir.
I'm Dr. Riggs. I live at 278 Ellsworth,
Okay?
so right next door.
Mhm.
And that entire area from Turner down most of the way to Fox Road is all clay.
Okay?
It won't perk no matter what you do. And besides that, everyone who's moved to Fox Road because there's 5 acres or Ellsworth, yeah, I was on Fox before. The reason why we moved to Ellsworth is because there were 5-acre parcels.
Okay?
And now we're talking about smaller and smaller lots.
Mhm.
And congestion and,
Town code.
huh?
It's town code.
Yeah, I know.
A town board, if you don't like the town code, and I've said this
Yeah.
a million times in my time as planning board and zoning board. If you don't like the code, you gotta go to the town board to change it. I'm serious. I mean, and that's what they do. That's their job is to do that. It's our job to follow the code along with staff and do what needs to be done. So I apologize if you don't like that, but it's the code. And it's been that way for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken.
So, for the most part, my objection is aesthetic. And that's not a legal issue,
Okay?
but I would strongly advise against.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak for or against this? Yes, sir. Jim, good to see you again.
Maybe I could address this to Ron.
No, you address it to me and I'll figure out who I address it to.
Better.
Come on, you know better than that.
But consensus in the neighborhood that this mystical 5-acre lot used to be requirement for the K-80. Was that a recent change or that we're misguided in thinking that lots have to be?
I'm gonna guess misguided, but I cannot remember.
Well, guided would mean that somebody informed him of that decision.
Yeah,
And I can't think of anybody in the town that would do that. You got a name?
Yeah, several farmers. 'Cause I
Oh,
was on-
okay,
I
farmers.
also own 100 acres that I farm, and they are under the impression, at least the gentleman that I hang out with, because now the houses that were built on
Mhm.
Fox Road, several houses came in at 5-acre plots. The people are having a hard time maintaining those 5-acre plots, so they're asking the farmers to pick up 2 to 3 acres of farmland within those plots. So there's a
Yeah.
general feeling that that was the law. I'm just wondering if it ever was, maybe someone can enlighten me on that.
I
If it
can't.
was it changed?
Dan can help you
So-
maybe.
Yeah, Dan.
I think the 5 acres is coming from the farmers because that is what's required for farm animals and farm operations. So that's where 5 acres comes into place. Has nothing to do with the requirement of the lot size. But no, both of those codes have been in quite a while because I know I've been here 10 years and it's been that way the entire time I've been here.
Yeah, and the big key is a lot about the frontage of whether or not it perks or not. Doesn't perk, you gotta have more frontage. It perks, you can have 150, I believe.
150.
So that's the difference there.
Right. So then, just so for so I can kind of understand the perk, no perk, this is less than the normal allowed, right? 1.6 acres?
No.
The 80,000?
No,
No?
not at all.
Even though we did find
It's the
out.
frontage issue. Well, 8,000 is if it doesn't perk, correct?
40.
40, it drops it down when you can perk. Because you get a 50% reduction.
And this was done many, many years ago at the request of the farm community who didn't want 5-acre lots. Okay?
Oh, good.
Okay,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
anyone else like to speak for or against this, application, which again is just the, subdivision of land? Yes, sir.
I'm not for it. I'm
First off, give me name and address, please.
My name is Randy Greco. I'm on 218 Ellsworth. I'm right next to the people that are planning to try to, something like this. I'm not for it either because, it's gonna bring, like somebody else already said, it's gonna bring a lot more traffic. Plus also, are they actually gonna build 2 houses there? Is that what they're gonna try?
No, there's one there already
Yeah, no, that house that's, yes, but I'm talking.
and one more.
Oh, they're thinking, okay, I thought.
Yeah, they're taking the one lot that's got the house on it and then breaking up the other, the bigger one, right? All right.
But they're gonna break it into 2 lots, correct?
No. So they're taking one lot and making it 2.
Just 2 making it 2.
So where the house is currently will be lot 1, and then the new lot will be lot 2.
It's fine.
Yeah, and the new lot's a pretty good sized lot.
But I still, like I said, I'm not for it, because like I said, I think it's gonna bring more traffic, more. We do have kids that live on that street, my son is the oldest, but it brings it up, as people speed up and down, even though the town, brought down the speed limit. It was supposed to be actually, but anyway, and it's gonna bring a lot more traffic. And like I said, it is gonna be, you don't know how close it's gonna be to the road, it's gonna be an eyesore for some people.
Quite a ways away. I mean, significantly back from the initial stuff I've seen. It's quite a ways back.
Well, I would like to see actually how far back.
Well, you can
So
look at the,
That was gonna be a site plan.
that's when you do the site plan, the preliminary site plan.
So realistically, you do not have measurements right now.
We have some preliminary stuff, but we haven't been authorized to, or we haven't accepted the preliminary site plan. When we do, then it'll be available in the town or in the building department to be reviewed. And we'll go from there.
Another question.
And if I can help, oh, sorry. I was
Yeah,
gonna
let
say,
him
if I can
finish,
help
please.
clarify it, where we have the house designed currently, it sits 221, or roughly 220 feet off the pavement.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Go ahead. Now, you had something else? I'm sorry.
Well, you interrupted instead of wait till I was done, but that's.
I was trying.
But, like I said, my concern is from traffic, also, like I said, again, until we actually see the final plans, I understand what he said on the thing. And I feel bad for my other neighbors because, a lot of these people live there longer than my new neighbor. Now, I live right next to them. I mean, my house is right next to them on Eldrick Road. And when they moved in now, I understand people don't have to come out and say hello or anything like that. But they never said, like she said, they never said anything. I grew up, okay, I'm 56 years old, okay? My father raised me, when you come into an area, you meet your neighbors, you know what I'm saying? And when you do something like this, which is gonna affect other people, right?
I appreciate what you're saying.
But that's
Okay.
the way I feel.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to speak for or against this application? Anyone online like to speak for or against this application? Okay, this is a public hearing. I have no other questions, so we'll close the public hearing. And we have a resolution that basically has some conditions on it. Did you, Kevin, did you get a chance to review that?
Yes, we did.
Any issues with it?
Nope, not at all.
Okay,
We'll get those edits to you.
so with that
Oh,
board.
they're
did
already
any-
done, actually.
Thank you. Any member of the board have any questions? Yeah. No, it's drawing a line on the map. So with that, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve this resolution as presented? So moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats. Aye. Adrian Velez. Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's been approved, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, that's the public hearing. Now we have public meeting action item. The first one up is P&M Properties, Villager Construction. Recommendation for approving a grading permit on the former site known as Loomis Road Industrial Park. Link, how you doing, bud?
How's everybody?
Good, good.
Tim Wallace and Michael Wallace are here with me as well from T and M Properties. And we're here tonight. We were here last meeting, talked about.
Yep.
We reviewed the preliminary site plan, the preliminary site plan approvals.
You reach out and close that door for me.
Sure.
Thank you.
And we got secret on preliminary. The big thing is that they have availability to bring fill in, to start filling this site for the future development area, which is shown on our approved plans, the fill area, the offsite area, which is basically over to the west of the new building.
Right?
So what we're looking to do is get going on the grading. Like they said, they have the availability now, so we'd like to request a grading permit to begin the grading and the site operations. Per year, the town.
What do you mean site operations? You mean the grading?
The grading, fill.
Okay.
Fill for the site, bringing in the fill, and the disturbance area for the approved grading plan, for the approved SWIP. We've submitted the SWIP for review and approval by MRB. We submitted a letter of credit to meet what our intent is to do the work, which is grading, erosion control, meeting the requirements.
Mhm.
Stormwater management, temporary erosion control measures per the requirements. And we have basically submitted all the other requirements per the grading permit. So we're here to talk about that tonight. And I think
Okay.
you have the letter of credit on as well.
We do.
Later on in the meeting, so
Mhm.
that's what we're here, and I know there might be some questions about what's been going with.
Oh, yeah, there'll be some
what's going
questions on that.
there,
for sure.
but
There'll be
we're
questions.
here to answer the questions.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
I'll be.
Okay, Ron, go ahead.
Okay, I've drafted a resolution for approval with conditions. I would like to defer to Lance and then Dan,
Okay,
because they are the permitting process here. But the resolution, I believe, finally arrived today in BME's office.
We received, Jeff.
It came by slow mail. Yeah, and as a result, I'm deferring to.
okay. That's what happens when you block Gmail. You don't get it from
On this
anybody.
block, I don't know why, but.
I don't know either. All right, we'll go down to Lance.
So yes, the
We're
great,
talking about we'll start with just the resolution or the grading and the grading issue. We'll talk about the other issues at the end there.
so the grading permit, I was trying to pull up my letter, I apologize. So the town has a process that does allow activities to occur, assuming they get first authorization from the board and then second approval from town staff. There's a
Right.
checklist that's been adopted by the town as part of the site design criteria that kind of guides us through that process. Most importantly, a letter requesting the grading permit process, a plan approval, which they now have a preliminary site plan approval.
Mhm.
They also submitted a grading plan to show how they're going to intend to do what they're proposing to do. It
Right.
requires a letter of credit or a surety. That could be in two parts. It could be for the full project, which is typical of this board to require a letter of credit on any project once they get final approval. Or in this scenario, a grading and erosion control plan covering the cost of only grading, erosion, sediment control, and in this scenario, stormwater.
Right.
And it also requires approval of a permit from DEC in the town being an MS4. In order to go over 1 acre, you have to have authorization to do that. BME and the applicant forward to us a SWIP for the entire project, which as of, I want to say yesterday, was approved by MRB Group for the entire project, which sometimes doesn't come to us until it's part of final. In this scenario, that was reviewed and approved as part of preliminary. So now they have that ultimately will have to be submitted to DEC to obtain the acknowledgement letter as well. Lastly, once they get an authorization from this board, if they were to get an authorization from this board, we would then meet with staff and have a pre-construction meeting to go over the
Right.
parameters of it prior to beginning the work that they're requesting.
And that pre-construction meeting will explain to them what they need to do and when they can begin, correct?
Correct.
So as of right now, there is no ability to begin the grading at all, and you guys kind of knew that. Okay, Dan,
So yeah, Lance covered the grading permit fairly decently. I don't have much to say on that. The permit does allow, because the site is light on material, to bring material in.
right,
So, we have no issues with that as long as they keep our road clean, and I'm sure Tim's gonna harp on that. What we have to talk about is the current condition of the site, and
might as well bring it up.
so, obviously, we have neighbors that have been concerned. They were at our last meeting, when we reviewed the preliminary.
Okay,
With that being said, they have reached out to me about activities that have been going on there, especially late or evening hours. Let's put it outside our normal construction hours.
normal construction hours are
They are 7
7 to 7,
7, and then Saturday is 7 to 6.
7 to 6, nothing on Sunday
Correct.
Or holidays.
Or holidays.
or holidays.
So
Okay.
with that being said, we've investigated it. I have reached out to the applicant. They did tell me that they were preparing for a project along the thruway that they can only work at night. I informed them that that property can't be used for that, until pretty much they have a C of O and running a business there, then they could prepare and stage if that was approval of the planning board. So I did go out there this afternoon. There's still quite a bit of supplies out there. I did take some pictures. I sent it to the
To
chairman.
the chairman thing.
So we're looking to see what the board wants to do with maybe a condition that something needs to be removed or
We will certainly get to that.
so. But that's our only
Okay.
concern from a staff point of view. Like I said, we have received some complaints in our department, so
Okay,
bringing it to the board's attention.
thank you. Paula?
I'm also.
Tim?
So I was out there talking with Tim about the entrance there in the mud, so he assured me he'd get some millings in there. And I'll put the mud on the road. But yeah, it needs to be kept clean. I wasn't aware of the not being able to stage the construction equipment there, so.
Yeah, it's not been approved for anything except for potentially with this or the grading. That's all it's been approved for. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Lance?
Just that as part of the grading permit process, MRB did complete a review of all the components. And then we've individually approved each of the components that have been provided as required by the town. The grading plan, the letter of credit covering the cost, the SWIP, the 5-acre waiver, and we forwarded that package to the board for your discussion.
Okay, thank you. This is a public meeting. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is a public meeting. Did anybody wanna, does the applicant wanna say anything or? Oh, Ron, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, just for the record, I'm hearing this for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it came in.
It came in late.
Got some late photos. We didn't really know what happened.
I've been here all day.
Yeah.
First time hearing it.
For the board's, knowledge, I did talk to Dan later today. He explained the situation to me. He sent me pictures of all the stuff that's been stored on the site, from the construction work on the thruway, and it's, a bunch of stuff, and equipment, certainly isn't approved. It's certainly not authorized to be there. So with the resolution relating to approval of conditions for grading permit, I would propose that we put another condition that only a grading equipment is allowed on site until they get the approval for the entire project, for, they get final site plan approval and get the authority to move forward with the different staff things that go along. Anybody have a problem with that? And the hours too. The hours are an issue. If in fact you're going to want different hours, than our typical 7 to 7, Monday through Saturday, and nothing on Sunday and nothing on holidays, you're gonna need to come to us and ask us for some, different stuff there. You have to remember that we do have houses in the area. Yes, it's a general industrial, but we do have families living in the area, so running heavy equipment there at, 8:30 at night or something like that, that may not necessarily be the most effective thing for a housing area. Ron, did you want something else?
Well, in light of this new information, I'm not prepared to say that I support the resolution I drafted. And,
I mean, I was gonna say something that once it was Archer, about the same thing, like. I know you saw the photos, but I don't know,
Yeah.
we didn't see the photos. I mean, I get that there's stuff on there, it shouldn't be there, so it probably shouldn't be removed tomorrow, but. We need to table it, and regroup with what they're doing right now, and they don't have permit to do anything with it. I mean, besides fill. They're not.
Yeah, I guess-
they're allowed to
They
bring
can't
in-
even do the fill without grading.
Yeah, I guess our
Wow.
request would be, can we just condition it on just fill operations or just great, bringing the fill in?
I think we
the
need to
grade-
look at this some more. I mean, you guys obviously jumped the gun. We know what town code is, and I think we need to revisit it for what conditions we need to put on this. I mean,
This is the.
if you just waited until this point to move forward with stuff, you're just thinking you can do whatever you want, and I've got a little bit of a problem with that.
Tim Walsh with Village of Construction. I guess I will apologize to start with. Feels like the town board feels we're jumping the gun. I will take full responsibility. I did read the town code, 16530. Shows the plan, and I talked to Dan a little bit about it. Zoned property GI, and under permissible uses, it shows contractor storage yard. I misinterpreted that, obviously.
So it does, but there's no
You gotta have a.
approved site plan.
Site plan.
There's nothing approved.
I took it as it's the property is zoned general industrial. And right underneath it says permissible uses is contractor storage yard. So I took that as it's allowed under the zoning code of 165-30. Talked to Dan a little bit about it. I was mistaken. I apologize about that. So it was me that jumped the gun, but the same token, the code, when I looked it up online, so that was permissible use. So that's why I did that. Again, it wasn't meant to be deceitful in any way. I'm not trying to pull wool over anybody's eyes. I've done my best to communicate with the town board during the process. Again, it's my misunderstanding of how the town code zones work. So I apologize. It, again, wasn't meant any way to be deceitful or not communicate. I want to be open with the board, want to be open with the town. I want to move here. I want to be part of the family. So that being said, that was on me. I did that, and as soon as I talked to Dan, we stopped. And I'd be more than happy to take the equipment out of there.
How long is it gonna take you to move the equipment and the storage that you have on there off?
Take a look at what's on there, but we could, on the week maybe.
There's still, there's still a process, so even if you guys approve tonight. they
Yeah, it
still have
doesn't
to
give
come
them the
for-
ability to do anything yet.
Correct, it still has to go to PRC or their pre-construction meeting.
Right.
Right, and I get that now.
Now, the other thing Dan and I talked about. I'm very certain that you do not have the authority or the approval to move that construction stuff, equipment, yes, construction stuff, the Ballards and that type of thing, and that's over there. You can't move that over to your other property there in Farmington. Cause that's, huh?
The barriers?
Yeah,
Yeah, they got moved. I didn't go by there. They got moved out the next night up to 96. It's really at the yard on the other end of the project.
okay.
I believe they were all moved out.
No,
Next day.
you have pallets of, looks
Well,
like.
yeah, that's construction material. They're it's drainage pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you don't have the authority to move a drainage pipe onto your other property because that's just for equipment storage. We didn't,
No, it wouldn't be our other property.
oh, okay.
The New York State Thruway Authority has a
I'll move it up there.
yard at the western end of the exit 45.
Okay,
So,
so you can move it up there.
yeah, I'll ask the Thruway Authority, but yeah, we should do
Yeah,
it.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that you understood, you can't just move it over to your other property because there's no outside storage except for your equipment over there.
Right.
So, I just didn't want that to be something that all of a sudden now we gotta deal with that. You know what I'm trying to say? You think you can get that stuff out of there in a week? I don't personally have an issue as a board to approve the grading at this point, as long as it says only grading equipment is allowed on site. You got a week to get it out of there, get the stuff that's currently there out of there, and then we'll be back on schedule and they'll know enough to be more sensitive in the
Yeah,
future.
I guess my question would be is, you're hauling in, you're gonna be hauling stuff in for fill during the day between 7 and 7, that's it, right? Your fill's not coming in at night.
Again, the job runs at night, so
So there's,
Some of them
this is where we're gonna have a
during the
problem,
day.
you're not gonna have, that's where I don't think, that's where we're gonna have to regroup, this can't go through tonight, because you can't have him running all those dump trucks into that site, backing up and unloading with their beepers all night with those people living on
Right.
the street, and he wants to run after 7 o'clock at night. So this whole
It'll
thing
be
needs
during
to
the day.
stop and be regrouped with what information he wants to give us, the correct information of how he wants to run his site. And it sounds like he wants to run it at night, so I'm gonna deny it tonight. And he's gonna come back to us with the information at the next meeting next month, and maybe we'll move it on then. So he's gonna lose 30 days. Because if we don't do it right, he's gonna do whatever he wants, because that's the way it works. And the people there are gonna be upset, because
Just
he
so
won't,
you
he
know,
won't run
that's
till
not my
7 o'clock.
intent.
What?
That is not my intent to do whatever I want.
But I just asked if you're gonna run past 7 o'clock, you said yes,
I said, there's a possibility,
and I'm not gonna approve that.
if it's outside the hours that the town allows, then no, I can't, and I won't.
So if you're only working on the throughway at night, you're gonna have to find somewhere else to dump it.
I said, there's some night work, there's some day work as well.
That's the information we don't have tonight, so that's the point.
So you would be okay, maybe if we put still 7 to 7 on there, or you think?
I think we need to regroup, because the resolution's written one way, I'm not gonna add 20 different things.
Yeah,
Throwing at me all at this second right now with everybody's new information that came out at 4 o'clock today, or whatever time it was. Because we didn't see, I didn't even see the pictures, so I don't even know what's there.
Yeah, I have a minimal understanding of what that project is, what the Thruway project is, and what material is there, and so what equipment is there, and how long it's gonna be there. You know, they say they can move it out, but it's not clear to me what they're doing.
Everything is.
So basically, as the chairperson, I know that we don't have 3 votes. I gotta have 3 votes to get it through. So the motion then would be to table this to the next meeting. We don't have to table 30 days. We can go to the next meeting and have a more complete resolution that includes what equipment's gonna stay on site. By then, everything will be moved off because you said you're going to, and let's put some hours in the new resolution, and we'll hold it up till the next meeting, which is May.
When's PRC for me?
May first.
So it's gonna be 30 days, because our first meeting is the 7th, so he's gonna lose 30 days.
Well,
It is, it is what it is.
not technically, I mean, we can have a special pre-construction meeting,
We have a pre.
After the 7th, after we decide what's going on.
Right.
yes, but you still would have to hit, you guys there the 7th. Then the town board would have to approve the letter of credit on the 13th. And then he has to post it.
Reasonable.
Well, look, how about, if the letter of credit is good,
We can prove that tonight.
I'm gonna say, I mean, is that something we could?
We just have to grade it.
But not authorize the.
I mean,
ultimately, the site.
Part of it down on our agenda.
Well, the letter of credit needs to go to the town board.
Yeah, and I'm open, I guess I'm okay with the letter of credit, because that's kind of research and stuff, it's more. Where we're going with this other one.
The site regardless, and that's all that letter.
that's-
So if you guys do that, then on the 7th. At your next, then I could schedule, if it's approved, then I could schedule
schedule the pre-construction.
At some point that day, in the next week or something to help them get going again.
Okay.
I mean, the letter of credit, I didn't necessarily have.
So, I mean, we might only be delaying.
I'm stuck on this one right now. I forgot
Right.
about that.
So then the consensus is we're going to table the grading permit request. And we are going to approve the letter of credit. Everybody on staff's been okay with the letter of credit? Okay, do I have a motion to wait? Sorry, Ron.
I'm learning this as we go along, so bear with me.
Okay,
Okay, I'm calming down over the fact that all of this happened without my knowledge.
I happened late, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
We talked today on the phone.
Yeah, I know, it happened after that. I didn't know anything about it when I talked to you.
And I sent a resolution out on Friday,
I know,
so this is
this is new stuff.
new stuff, okay? We need to say you're gonna continue the resolution until a certain date.
Right, right.
The next meeting, which is, you said the seventh, May seventh?
But that, we're gonna prove that to move it to May 7th.
And with that continuation, we want information on what equipment will be on site and what the hours of operation will be.
And that you may get a new resolution.
Oh, I understand. I can handle that. Yeah,
The only other thing I was gonna question, and when we actually originally got to the grading, is just that everyone's comfortable with the grading limits on that eastern side. I think that was.
The west.
Was it west side?
Yeah.
What we were gonna look at because of the concerns brought up last meeting, so as long as everyone's good with that, then. That was.
I believe so.
It's the eastern side,
oh,
where the houses are.
right, oh,
There's a
the,
drainage swale that runs up.
yeah. Okay, with that. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the letter of credit as approved?
Now we're jumping down to 5D, right?
No.
No, that was all together in 202.
No, it wasn't now, all together. You'll get to that later. in
Oh,
the
I'm-
meeting.
It's 5D on the.
I'm sorry, that's why I didn't have anything there.
We're gonna move this
You're right.
to May 7th.
But let's do that while we're right here. We'll do D, 5D, which is the letter of credit.
Okay, with the letter of credit.
I'm sorry, go ahead. We just, hey,
Oh, we had to vote
on that.
have to have a vote?
To continue it to May 7th.
Okay, we have a motion to waive or to continue this resolution to May seventh.
I move that.
Okay, Adrian moves it. Do I have a second? Doug, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia, Doug Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis. Aye. Ed Henninger.
Aye. Okay, we took care of that one. Now we're going down to 5D. We're gonna get that letter of credit taken care of. Anybody have any issues with that? I have a motion to waive reading and approve that resolution as presented. Moved by Doug, seconded by. Tim, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia,
Aye.
Doug Beats. Aye. Adrian Bellis. Aye. Ed Henninger.
Aye, so that saves you some time, get that taken care of, and then we'll get the rest of this going, okay?
Sure.
All right,
Can I ask one more question?
yes, you may.
Are we set to submit for final? Will you get back to me on that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if I signed the preliminary, I haven't signed the preliminary, so.
Yeah, I just didn't know if I could submit.
Yeah.
Get them going.
You
Okay.
gotta have the preliminary, at least here,
Okay.
and then you can submit together, so the one for signatures in the final.
I think I guess I think we're all set with the preliminary, so I think I can get them here for signature and get the finals.
Okay.
So I'd like to just keep everything going as much as I can. So,
Yeah, email me, and I'll get back to you.
okay, sounds good. You got a Gmail email?
Don't send it from a Gmail. Okay, guys. We are at 2025-403, other board action. This is the
We moved down to other board action.
yeah. For some reason I had one in front of there. I don't know. I got myself. 403, this is the 4-lot Matisse subdivision, determination application being complete and scheduled for a public hearing.
Public meeting. It's final.
For a public meeting, right? This is for the final, so. Staff, everything good with this one?
Yep.
We're good? Board have any questions?
No.
Have a motion to approve this resolution as presented.
Motion by Tim.
Motion by Tim, second by. Adrian, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Adrian Bellis, aye, and
Aye. Okay, that was 403. Now we got,
Thank you.
thank you, have a good one.
Yep.
We got 408, 409. This is the extension for Sky Solar. Again, this is a 90-day extension of the preliminary site plan approvals. Anybody online to talk about that one? I see Frank's online.
Hey, good evening.
Evening, Frank.
Can be there in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give us a little clue on why we're having to do an extension here.
Yeah, so this, there's a collection of factors. The most significant one is we've had a change of project managers at
Right.
Labella. Actually, I'm on the third one, which I've sent Ron a note today with their name and contact information. So hopefully we'll
Okay.
get caught up and be able to submit a plan, a set of plans for review for the town staff by the end of the month. So it's primarily a change of staff at Labella. It took them a while to get organized and caused this a significant amount of delay to get organized.
Okay, now we haven't signed the preliminary site plan yet, correct?
Correct.
So we're looking for the preliminary site plan to come in, be signed, and then moving to the final site plan and the lot line adjustment.
Yeah.
So the preliminary site plan, the lot line adjustment are the first two things need to be in. You get them in, sign them off, but you got something on the lot line, didn't you, Ron?
Yes, we're, to my knowledge, good to go on that.
Yes, we are waiting for a Mylar to be sent. So, because that's all that will be accepted by the county.
Okay,
Frank was gonna get that to us so that you could sign it.
okay, so we need a Mylar, Frank, and I'll get that signed, and we'll get that done. And then we need a preliminary site plan work, we'll get that signed, then you can submit the final and get this thing rolling, okay? All right, Frank, I'll turn it over to staff. Ron?
Yeah, we're good. I understand that Jonathan Orphan is happy with the map as shown.
Good.
I know the construction inspectors have reviewed the preliminary drawings and we're all good there. Also, as Dan said, we're waiting on is just that Mylar so that we have the Mylar and 2 paper copies to file in the county clerk's office.
Okay,
I'm good.
and Tim, Lance?
I'm all set as well.
This is not a public hearing, but I know you guys are here about this, but so you heard everything we've heard. And that's where we're going with this, so, board, anything, Adrian?
I guess the only question I have is 90 days enough time for you? Get this wrapped up or no?
Frank, 90 days good?
90 days should be plenty. Yes.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Doug?
No, I'm good.
Tim?
Yeah, I had the same question. I'm good.
Okay, with that, do I have a motion to waive reading and approve this resolution as presented? Moved by Doug, second by
Tim?
Tim. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Bates. Aye. Adrian Bellis. Aye. And Henninger.
Aye. Taken care of. Okay. Next item up. DB 25 or 2025-302. This is Ryan and Ashley Brager. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep me honest here now. I gotta make sure I say things right. Okay, now this is again a very simple determination of completeness and ready to schedule it for a public hearing to classify it then as a type 2 action under seeker and determine that everything gets rolling on. So,
Okay.
Ron.
public hearing on this because it is on the county line.
Okay,
It affects properties in Macedon that we need to send notices to so that they have the opportunity to come and comment.
okay,
It also requires us to send to the town clerk in Macedon the information as required under the 239N of the general municipal law. Just like we did last month with Timberview Estates. Victor,
yeah,
they sent us the stuff. Well, now we're within 500 feet. We gotta send it to Macedon. So
same.
those are the requirements. Because of that requirement, we have to not have this scheduled for a public hearing at the first meeting in May, but the second meeting to allow staff and the clerks enough time to give notices to the public.
Right,
So that's why we've gone to the second meeting in May.
yeah, so it's set for Wednesday, May 21st, to have a public meeting on this. Or no, on this one, a public hearing, right? Okay,
That's what it says.
yep. Dan?
I think
The public meeting.
We might have to push it further because of county referral.
Well, it doesn't go to the county. Doesn't have to go to the county. It's a single lot with all, now that they've relocated the garage to the rear of the property, it doesn't have to go through the county for.
it's, your resolution says referred to the county.
What does it say down below? Under the plantings.
Anything else, Dan?
Yeah, you can skip over it.
Paula?
I'll say, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, it's not-
Lance?
I'm all set as well.
Applicant, you saw this applicant, did you see the resolution? Pretty simple.
I did.
Okay, pretty simple. Dan, what's going on? You good? Okay, anybody on the board like to comment on this one?
On the meeting date right now.
And the meeting date is for May 21st. I have a motion to accept the resolution and approve it as presented. Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comment? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please. Aye. Okay, next item up is 2025-401, Victor Ambulance. This again is finding that the final site plan has been determined to be complete and can be accepted for a public meeting. Ron?
Yeah, the only concern here is we need to have an address for County Road 8.
Mm-hmm.
I talked with Alex Amering about it. He admitted that he didn't catch that.
Alex online.
And so I drafted it to be complete for a public meeting. We can either revise the drawings and get them to you in time for distribution for your meeting coming up, or you make a condition of approval that it has to have the County Road 8.
You got that right, Alan?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got it?
as soon as we get the address, we'll update the drawings, so.
Okay. Yeah. It's certainly not, but it's completed enough to be ready for a public meeting.
Yep.
Nothing else? Dan?
Yeah, just on the addressing, I gotta work with the county 911.
Did the doctor's office have an address there already?
It was on the,
96 side?
96.
Ah, okay.
And with the driveway and everything going out to 8,
Yep.
it was caught that it should be addressed. You guys gave that to me in the resolution for preliminary.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's a bunch of addressing going on right now that I'm going back and forth with the county. So hopefully I will have some numbers.
Straighten them up.
Good luck.
Yeah. Paula?
I'm all set.
Tim? Lance,
I'm good.
anybody on board?
Okay.
Motion to waive reading and approve the resolution as presented. Moved by Doug, seconded by Adrian. Clerk, take a roll call, vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next, last item up is the Georgia Gerlach EB 2025-402. It is a preliminary subdivision, proposed lot 1. Along the east side of Sand Hill Road, in Shortsville and Ladding. This again is a determination of completeness and scheduling it for a public hearing. Anyone online? Ron?
Okay. This is a, 2-lot subdivision,
Okay.
separating the house from the rest of the farmland.
Mhm.
Because it is 385 feet from the town of Canandaigua, we have to give them notice.
Yep.
Under the general municipal law, which means that this is a second meeting in May for your public hearing.
Did we put that in there?
Also,
That's in there.
Okay,
don't scare me like that.
I know. Rest of the staff, anything from
I've
staff?
been scaring enough tonight.
Dan?
No, this is another exempt action, so it doesn't have to go to county, so.
Okay, Tim? Lance?
Also as well.
Board?
Sorry.
Have a motion to waive reading and approve this resolution as presented. Motion by Tim, second by Adrian, any other comment? Clerk, take a roll call, vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're down to the other reports, other discussions, reports. Ron?
Well, I'll keep it simple. The only thing I have to report on is, we have, two local laws going to be adopted, at the next town board meeting. One is on the, amendments to the onsite wastewater treatment that, Soil and Water Conservation Service has, commented on. The other one is creating, rules and regulations for the park and ride lot.
Yep.
We heard back from county planning on the short-term rental. They want us to put some kind of verbiage in there that, this, county permit process is going to be handled by the, county treasurer. Only to be changed in November or September of this year to some other department, but they don't know which it is. So I'm going to leave it with the county clerk because all documents have to be filed with the county clerk's office. And let the county deal with it. I don't want to have to go back and amend a local law just to change the department.
I agree with that.
I'm glad that you do. We have, another, chapter of the code that I've been working on, and that's the water rules and regulations. This thing has been a labor of love. There's a lot of things that no longer pertain, and it will continue to be worked on by the town engineers and town staff, the water department, as we go along. The next thing is there are two, farmland protection implementation grants going into the state for funding. One is up on, what they call the Sadler Beef Farm. It's located up there on Fox Road, and a portion of it is on Allen Pageant Road. The other one is the, Fresh Air Farm LLC, two parcels of land, over in the east side of town, on both sides of County Road 28 and south of Route 96. Both of them are prime soils, active farmlands, and we've recommended that the state approve those. Hopefully they will. we're starting to see momentum now with the farmers, wanting to put their lands into these 99-year, farmland protection measures. And, hopefully, others will come along as time prevails. I know that one of the farmers, one of the large dairy farmers in the town was here for the Matisse subdivision because they have interest in acquiring some of that land. And we will learn Friday who the new engineers are for the Tops Plaza.
Oh, that should be interesting.
That's all.
Okay, Dan.
All right, a lot of things have been going on, around here. Obviously, you see we have new furniture in here today. I've been pulled away from my normal duties, with the lower level, wrapping up, furniture arriving and being moved down there. The building department has also new furniture throughout. Our computer system was down on Tuesday as they removed furniture and put new furniture in, actually part of Monday. So we didn't get back up and running to today. So I have to thank Ron for taking the brunt of preparing everything for the planning board without any real assistance from the codes department. I know Paula was involved a little bit, but not nearly to the level we should be. So I know there's been a lot going on and I appreciate his help with that. Also, I've been pulled to Canandaigua a bunch as we're trying to wrap up hiring a stormwater position. That's a shared position between the two towns. So I've been down there a lot for interviews as of late. So I also want to report that at your next meeting in May, I will not be here. I will be out on medical again as I have a surgery coming up at the end of this month. So I will be out for probably a week to 2 weeks, that I just found out about today. So I haven't talked to Augie because he's on vacation, but I'm most certain that he will be in my shoes for your next meeting.
Okay.
And I will make sure he's up to speed on all of that. As it comes to your projects, obviously you see them still coming in. And we are starting to move into the new software that goes over how projects are going to be able to be submitted in the future. We're excited about that, but there's a lot of things that we have to provide to the software company to go over that. So it's still a ways out, but hopefully not too far in the near future, you guys will all have some sort of training that we'll probably have to do a workshop of some sort. So I would like to be able to maybe give you a rundown on maybe an hour before your meeting or something to get up and running on that. So besides for that, I don't know if Paula has anything to add, but she's been taking the other brunt of me not being as much available lately. So I will let her speak if she has anything to add.
I don't really have too much, I guess, just, if you guys don't have access to the information for OneDrive, feel free to reach right out to me.
We
I
will.
think it was all set for this time around, but if I miss anything, let me know.
Yeah, she's taken the reins of that off of me. So yeah, again, a lot of transition, a lot of moving parts. So I do appreciate her doing that, but and if I pawn you off to her, it's not because I don't want to talk to you guys, it's just she's taking that control.
He's nicer than you are.
Probably. I've heard that, so.
And we are having a meeting next week with the folks at that
Maybe.
storage.
Well,
I want that.
We want that to happen, but we're working on it.
What's that?
You need to catch up on
Yeah,
that.
I need to bring
It's
him
a
up to
late,
speed.
it's a late, just heard about it, just before it came in here. You need to know about that one too.
So.
I just wonder, I don't
It's
know.
going down my list, there's
Yeah.
other things that I wanted to bring up the last few weeks about it.
Yep. And we'll get to you in a,
No,
well, just, let's hear this.
there's just stuff being stored outside back of the buildings, so I don't know. if we had-
So we.
I didn't think we were keeping stuff outside.
So, all right, so yes, there is a issue there. The applicant wants to meet with us. I am trying to set up a meeting with Ron, and I haven't even brought Ron up to speed on this yet.
But I just.
And Ed. Augie and I met with him last week because we had a complaint on his facility. And as we looked into your guys' approvals, we realized that we have a bigger issue. That not everything being done down there is what you guys approve.
That's the one I stumbled onto when I was getting my lunch.
Yes, and remember
Oh.
I asked you for a minute because he wants to talk about a special use permit and about trying to get more uses down there. But
issues.
there's a lot of issues. We already know about the parking. We know about outdoor storage. Yes, there's a lot of things going on there. And these uses are already in place, partially code enforcement fault because we didn't check all your conditions. So we issued some operating permits, but when we found out that they were wrong, now we're in this state of how do we fix it?
Okay,
More to come though.
I'll be fun with that one.
I have two things. Number one, the environmental notice bulletin published the neg deck for Villager today.
Okay,
Thanks to Lance and MRB for getting
Good.
that taken care of. And the other one will come back to me in a minute.
okay. Nothing else, Paul? Tim?
Well, trying to get our summer road projects going. UDIG seems to hold us up because they don't get out there and mark the utilities out. Been a real problem last year. This year, kind of holding us up. We were able to get the end of Running Brook done. So we're not gonna hold up the Creekwood project. That should go along okay. We got the catch basins at our end ready to go, so they
Good.
should be able to put their pipes in once they get pipe. I see they have sewer pipe there, but I don't see any drainage pipe, but our end of it's ready. So
Good.
we won't be holding them up, but that's,
Cool.
we did start pulling paw frames off today in the snow, so taking a chance.
I see you got the AMVETS.
We get all.
I see you got the AMVETS bench up there. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Lance?
I don't have anything to provide.
Okay. Public, any comments? Go ahead. I knew I couldn't get through a night without you talking. I know that.
I'm gonna sit because of my legs.
Okay, that's fine.
Bill Shaw, 5976 Redfield Drive. I
Yeah,
want
Bill.
to talk about Sky Solar. Some background information with what I do for a living. NYSERDA is gonna look at this solar site as one system.
Okay,
We have one set of lithium ion batteries on site on the western shore. And that will be combined with the eastern side of the road to that.
I think that was always the
It'll be
plan, wasn't
always
it?
there, but the town is listing it, as I was surprised to read in the newsletter. And which was really expertly written by someone. That you guys are looking at this as two independent separate systems.
I think it's two
It's
applications,
two
but a
applications.
single
Two properties, but this
Yeah.
whole thing is one system.
correct.
RG&E is looking at it as one drop address.
I think we all thought that.
Yeah, and the engineers are telling me that it'll be at least 2 years before there's room at the new substation that's going in to accept any new power that's going in.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Doesn't surprise me at all. So when this gets down to the end of this, is the town gonna look at this as one single system?
Staff will take a quick look at that, we'll see it, I mean, it's gonna be one system, if it's all gonna be connected together, I mean, it's gonna be one system, maybe two parcel IDs, but they're gonna be connected together.
Yeah, NYSERDA will look at it as one system.
Correct,
That was just one of the
I mean, that's what we had out on Yellow Mill,
Yellow Mills, yeah.
I mean, that was three separate sites, but they were all connected together to a single distribution point.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's any different than what we did out there. Anything else, sir? You're good to go? Okay, board, anything?
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? You good?
About the outside storage and stuff.
Did you want to
You
bring
did.
up, the pictures you sent me? Let's have it on
I
record.
mean,
What?
I sent Dan pictures on Monday for the retention pond over by Taco Bell and Dunkin' Donuts and everything.
Oh, in this property,
Yeah,
sir?
and this, and maybe it's part of, I think it's in this retention, maybe it's the hotels, I don't know. But
No,
I mean,
it's partially,
it's in that area behind the hotel between Taco Bell and Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Donuts. And the retention pond is just full of garbage. It's horrible.
so I mean, obviously that's a stormwater thing that we're looking at all the ponds and.
Yeah,
And this time of the year, ponds are bad, especially in the commercial area.
yeah.
But Adrian brought up some, gave me some good pictures of what was going on there and we're,
And then Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have a dumpster enclosure, and I guess that was not like a big thing back when they built Dunkin' Donuts, when it was turned over from the Pizza Hut or whatever, so the dumpsters do sit in that corner, so if they're probably full or dumping or the wind, it probably blows in there, but there's nothing we can do right now unless they change something on site, but. So I just asked that.
Recommend it, doesn't mean we can, require it, but we can recommend it.
So.
minimum bond has to get.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I definitely
absolutely.
agree. I mean, and it wasn't like, if there was like 2 or 3 pieces, so I might be like, okay, the wind blew, and
Right.
that stuff happens, but I mean. The
Well-
pictures I sent Dan, this thing is just littered with garbage.
so, and we're seeing that a lot with the ponds. Actually, Tim had his guys out doing roadside cleanup and there was a couple businesses that the wind did not help them.
Oh, it's been windy.
So we've been following up with some businesses.
We'll come back, okay, what do you got, sir?
For Tim, at the corner of 96 and Commercial Drive, there's a bench.
Yeah.
It sits on an angle.
Uh-huh.
It's not officially an RTS bus stop,
Okay,
being used as one.
okay,
And when the handicap guy gets picked up in the morning, the McDonald's bags gets, since you're talking to trash, that corner I picked up twice. Anyway, getting the trash can put out there for the bus ride.
well, we had a trash can on,
It's
we always have
long.
trash cans with that.
But that driver comes in and he blocks half of the intersection when he loads the
sure.
handicap guy.
Parks guys bring a trash can.
Yeah, double check, cause was a requirement for that.
That's a requirement for being a bus driver for RTS. You gotta block as
Block
much
the
of the
intersection.
road as you can. Load passengers.
Ron
Do
is
you
correct.
think that's anything? Try it at 12 corners at 5 o'clock rush hour.
No,
Yeah, we'll get an eye on that because every one of those benches is supposed to have a trash can with it, usually one of those black mesh.
aren't they supposed to be level too,
What?
the benches?
Listen, this is a wish list.
We don't have a requirement for that, I mean, you know.
That's what that is.
Yeah, we probably should take a
So
look,
just
see if
more or
there's
less
any
like-
maintenance, that was, what's his name, D Felice? Had D Felice,
You know, it's gonna become the, hot dog,
something hot and ice cream.
Henrietta Hots.
But I guess it's and ice cream.
My ice cream's going away.
I read it on Facebook, it has to be true.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sorry. I don't belong to Facebook.
Alright. Motion to adjourn by Tim, second by Adrian, all in favor? Aye, all right.